Welcome to Third Eye Philosophy. With me, I have Rhonda Mary. I stumbled upon her because I was watching walkaway videos, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's so pretty." And and me being the person that I am, I thought that I would call some people or reach out to some people, to get to talk to them. I'll accept because what I do notice is a lot of people in the walkaway movement, you know, um, they just make a video talking about how they walked away, and they really don't have some type of inspiration to build a YouTube channel. They just do that. So certain people I reach out to. But when I looked on Rhonda Mary's page, I saw her talking politics. So I was like, yes, that's a plus plus. You have plus together to make it better. That's a plus plus. Okay. So I thought I'll call her, ask her some questions and see exactly where she at, because what she's speaking and saying exactly is on the same lines as conservatives, and I don't know if she's a conservative. I don't know, if she voted for Trump. I don't know if she liked the man. I don't know if she liked Hillary or who she voted for. I don't know when she became a conservative. I don't know. So that's why I thought I should reach out to her and ask her a couple questions. Okay. All right, Rhonda May, please just let us know where you're from and give us a quick breakdown on who you are, what you do. Right?
Okay. So, like you said, I am Rhonda Mary. I am born and raised in Mississippi. Um, yes, Mississippi. And yeah, that's where the accent comes from if you didn't notice. But yeah, so I started my YouTube channel to basically just talk about different stuff that I would think and express to my friends and my peers, usually on like Facebook and stuff, and like the slack that I would get and the feedback that I would get is like, hey, what are you talking about? And so, I wanted a way to kind of like express myself differently on a different platform. And I think when you talk on video, you give people a little bit more time to really just understand you a little better. And so, yeah, I started my YouTube channel a little over a year ago, and I'm kind of picking it up a little bit more, kind of seeing what I want to do with it, and I'm growing with it. So, it's definitely been a learning experience for sure.
But now let's get back into a little bit of what I wanted to make this video for. You know,
Okay.
um, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start asking you some questions. Okay? These questions are not hard, not difficult. It's pretty laid out. It's just you being yourself, and you just answer it as you see fit. Okay? The first question is, what are your political views?
So, basically, I am kind of in this growth exploration right now. Um, it all started around the time that Trump was elected, and I was watching the news, and everybody is like, he'll never win, this will never happen, and there's no way this could happen, and then it happens, and I'm like, I remember that night it happened, and I was just like, what is going on? And for probably like 24 hours, it almost felt, it was like this surreal feeling, right? Because just like the buildup of it, and then just kind of becoming acclimated to the idea of, okay, Trump is president now. And so after, you know, I just started watching the news more, and it was just things that just like weren't adding up, and some things just didn't make sense to me. And so a lot of these headlines I would see when I would go to read the actual articles, I'm like, but that's not what the headline was trying to lead me to believe. And so I started trying to like just uncover and ask questions and just watch more, be more attentive. And so everything just started getting so interesting. It was almost like a different world. And the more I thought about it, like when I actually thought about my life and my morals and my values, I come from a very strict Christian 2-parent household, just very, I was actually raised, very religiously. And so I don't know, like this juxtaposition, like all of it was so interesting. And so, the information that I was uncovering, it just started becoming interesting. And I would ask my Facebook friends, I'm like, what do y'all think about this? And what do y'all think about this? And then it just ended up turning to this YouTube channel that I have now, where I'm basically allowing people to see the growth that I'm coming from. So I definitely have some conservative values, and I would say that I still have a few liberal values as well. I don't think at this point I'm in any particular box. I would say I'm more so lean towards independent at this point, and I'm still trying to learn and uncover as I go. And so, yeah, it's really about me finding where I belong and kind of taking my subscribers and followers on that journey with me.
Okay. Sounds great. So basically, you ain't really know about the conservative world really until after that election. You had a lot of questions. You said,
I I wouldn't say I didn't know about it, but I would definitely say that what's been presented to me is a lot different than some of what I'm starting to find. And when I start to seek the answers for myself, a lot more starts to make sense. And so, even though I talked about my family values, I was definitely raised in a Democratic home. And so, yeah, it's a lot. I hope that answered your question.
um, what do you think about the big tech social media platforms censoring campaigns? That, this censoring campaign thing that's going on with the big tech, what do you think as far as, I mean, being that you're a newcomer to this reality, pretty much like a new world, basically we would say you woke up from the Matrix. Reality is harsh, and I believe it's a lot worse for the liberals, because their world is everything is living under their pillow, trying to kill them, trying to get them. And for a lot of black liberals, they feel like every white person under the bed trying to lynch them, But what do you think about this censorship stuff going on? That you see how it's basically targeting conservative and Republicans and conservative, mainly conservative, not just Republicans, but conservative people with conservative values and views. What do you think about that?
I think it's unfortunate. I definitely believe in freedom of speech. And I just think that after that freedom of speech, that those people sharing that speech just have to be responsible to the people listening, not necessarily to the platform. And so, yeah, I definitely think it's unfortunate. I don't agree with it. And now what's happening is that you have Trump always talking about this fake news this and fake news that. You have so many people that are seeking the truth. You have inquisitive people. You have curious people that are looking for answers. They're trying to find new sources. They want to get in contact and in touch with people that may think like them. And so, yeah, I just don't think it's a good look. I think it's interesting to see what exactly is going to come of that. But yeah, I don't agree with it. I definitely believe in freedom of speech, and you say what you want and you just let the chips fall where they may. So that's my particular belief on that.
Yeah. You know how I see this? I see this as like is the Matrix movie, and Neo and your Trinity, and we're like, we just woke up out the matrix, and then
Mhm.
you see all the people in the city, they kind of just walking, doing their own thing. But
Mhm.
the agents, they kind of not paying attention to the people, but they looking directly at us, you know,
Right.
trying to shut us up, trying to silence us. Like, that's how I actually see this. And this is why I say things like the matrix is real,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna go on to the next question, which is, why do you think they target people that have different opinions that opposed to their own?
Um, I think that there's this big push for a certain narrative. And I think that narrative changes constantly. But I think that narrative is basically controlled by the same group or same kind of people that have the same thoughts. And one particular thing about me, no matter where my ideology may fall, I've just never been a type of person to attack somebody for how they feel, regardless of the situation. It could be as extreme as possible. I think we're all living, growing beings, and we are constantly learning. And I originally wanted to go to school for psychology, which I ended up not going to school for psychology. But I just always thought it was interesting to really figure out like how people think. Why do you think like this? And so I'm just very interested in how people's environment, family structure, religious structure, all of that kind of goes into their beliefs, their ideology, their morals, their values. And so I think it's okay for people to be different. Like I don't have a fear of that. Like somebody else's opinion does not hurt me. Like I have people that come on my YouTube channel and like they attack me. They say like really mean, hurtful things. And the thing is, I don't intend to hurt anybody. I don't do anything maliciously. It's really me sharing my opinion and looking for the truth, seeking truth. And so many people, I do get good feedback and people leave me information for me to research and, they leave me their opinions and their ideas and they give me different perspectives and I'm here for that. I'm here for that. And so I just think that a lot of the media, they just try to push this one thought path. And if you don't have that, you're wrong and you should be berated or you should be
I
ousted or
mean,
whatever
I
the
mean,
case may
you're
be.
sexist, xenophobic, racist. You hate children. They say everything. They call you every name in the book, and I just don't think that's genuine. I don't think that's right either.
And
But pretty much,
the crazy part about it is the target is always moving. The target is always moving. And then we still have a generation here. Like, for example, my dad doesn't use a computer. Um, I mean, he just doesn't. He's not into social media. He's not on Facebook. He doesn't do any of that. So you have all these new social rules and things that's constantly changing, and then you have a lot of people that they just don't keep up with that. And so, you know, terms that might have been okay are things that might have been okay in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s. Now I like it would just be totally different. I can't even imagine trying to have a talk with my dad about toxic masculinity. Like that would just probably be a trip because he'd probably be like, "Girl, what?" You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so I think that's something that's something to think about. Yeah.
yeah. But basically, they target people with different opinions because they have an agenda, and
Mm.
it is to re-educate the world. They're trying to get everything under this new world order. There's one order, where they control absolutely everything, using socialism and communism, society that's not is not good for the individual that actually likes prosperity.
Right.
far as like somebody like myself who want to be something, then I'll have to compete with the giants. And if we lived under that new world order, the giants will be pretty much the government, you know,
Mhm.
be a huge monopoly. So therefore, everybody living equal under the same type of rules, but the richest people that's running the new world order will be exempt from those rules, you know, and they will be pretty much kind of like experiment on the people, you know, as far as doing whatever they want is what I'm trying to say,
Mhm.
you know, and that's pretty much why they see that we are a threat. They see that we are a threat because we know their agenda, we know what they're trying to do, and we know the psychological tactics that they use. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they target people like us. You know, you see that they banned Alex Jones. You know,
Mhm.
my thoughts about that is, you know, no matter how wacky or outrageous Alex Jones may be, you know, he do have a freedom of speech. That means
Right.
if you see somebody that's wacky in the street, that you don't allow them to speak or tell you what's on their mind, or do you allow to talk? Do you allow these people to pretty much have freedom of speech? You know, stuff like that, and that. So you know that is not right, no matter who it is. You know,
Right.
and just recently I heard that they've been trying to say that he's been calling for violence, which is not true. I listen to the man every day, even after he'd been banned. I still listen to his podcast. You know,
Mhm.
and he didn't call for violence. He was just saying that we need to get active politically, you know, and make sure they don't win, you know,
Mhm.
an election. So, you know, but they do twist the words, twist everything we say to try to turn it against us. You know,
Right.
they use our kindness as a weakness. You know, and every time we try to turn around and stop them and go after them, they got to act like they're being attacked. You know, like, oh no, don't, oh that's racist, or oh no, don't do this to me, or you trying to, they play the victim card. You know,
Mhm.
then you say you can't say stuff like that because that's not factual, stuff like that. You know, they take it as if you're trying to take their speech away. You know, they basically use the Constitution to protect themselves, but then they attack us and our rights. You know, and that's pretty much because we pretty much are the tip of the spear. I mean, we're ahead of the world. Do you know what happens if we actually win this psychological war? Like if we actually win, you know, then we actually experience true freedom from these people. And that
Mhm.
we've been around for thousands of years, you know, so I don't want to lose you too much, but
No,
very
I'm
long
with
time.
you. I'm with you. It's just a lot. It's a lot to unpack. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got almost 10 years worth of this, you know, so I could go on forever and ever and ever, but I'm going to shorten it up and I'm going to go to the next question. Okay. What do you think about Omarosa and what she has done, and what is the outcome of her actions? What do you think about Trump calling her a dog?
So I actually made a YouTube video about this, and in my video, and this is my true opinion. I don't particularly care for how Omarosa has perpetuated and carried out and allowed this image that the media portrays of her as this manipulative, conniving, angry black woman. And so I feel like she played herself right into this hand. Um, and so I can't go as far as to say I feel bad for her. Now, as a president, I do wish that Trump would be above the fray, um, and just not do certain things. I just find it odd that when you have a president that wants you to stop focusing on the fake news and wants you to really focus on the things he's doing and policies, but then you turn around and feed right into the media. Like, so I can understand people's confusion. Like, I get that. I will never make an excuse for him calling her a dog, even though I do understand he's called other people that. I think it's uncouth. I don't think it's a good look. I just don't. But like I said, I also don't particularly feel bad for Omarosa. It's more so for the two reasons. First of all, you're the president. Second of all, by feeding into this, if you're saying you really want to focus on midterm elections and, what you're doing, but then you turn around and feed right into the media, like, it's, I mean,
Basically, let me give a quick breakdown of what I think. I don't care, basically. Just kind of like you say, it's like you don't feel bad for whatever the case. I don't either. And the media, they're trying to take it as oh, she's a black woman. He called her a dog, so that refers to every black woman as a dog. It's ridiculous how the media spin it and take it and push it for their narrative. But my whole take on it was pretty much that, just because he called one black person a dog, that refers to all people, especially if he just didn't start the drama. She started the drama by bringing this to him.
I agree with that part. I agree with that part.
And so she brought the drama to him, and he responded. He was like, she's a dog, whatever the case is, and she's not faithful, she's not loyal to, stuff like that. I mean, that's fine and dandy. He responded back to that. But one thing that I do like about the response is the fact that it shows me that my president is human. And my president isn't presidential to the point where, he's acting all, PC, politically correct. That lets me know that, this country is for anyone to be out there to express yourself, no matter who you are, that you're able to just be yourself, and throughout
my only concern about that is how far does it go? Like how far does it go? Because you say that, what's the limit? What's the bounds? When is it like, okay, that was just too far?
People, people say a lot of things about Donald Trump, about him tweeting, him being a president, stuff like that. Listen, if you know the deep state, like how we know the deep state, not talking to you personally, but for people that say stuff like that, if you know the president, like how I know the president, not the president, I'm sorry, the deep state, that threw me off. If you know the deep state, like how I know the deep state, they will, block all forms of communication, and whatever the president get at his desk will be what the deep state want at his desk. The deep state they're more powerful than Donald Trump. Okay. It's just that the deep state can't get what they want because they need Donald Trump's signature for it, as far as the policies, the law, regulations and stuff. He ain't gonna sign what they want. He's looking to help the American people. He's not going to sign nothing that's going to sell us out, So in order for us to be able to hear what he truly thinks, like him personally, as a president that's surrounded in the deep state, in the swamp, surrounded, his tweets is powerful for people like us who need to know exactly what's going on in there with him. So, I mean, as far as getting back at Omarosa, he didn't have to do it, but I'm happy that he did. Because somebody need to put her in a place for that, and as far as him calling her a dog or calling the NFL players sons of bitches, listen, my president is human. That's how I see it, and what they're doing is highly disrespectful. I didn't agree with that either, because first and foremost, I don't know if you know, but I am a soldier in the military, I'm a sergeant in the military. And I didn't really have 100%, American pride thing type going on with myself. I mean, once I got in the military and, I started serving, and I started meeting people and I started helping people and doing things out there, helping people and everything, doing, Hurricane Sandy and things like that, you know, it gave me a sense of pride. A lot of people love America, you know, and they rely on America to do the right things, you know, and where we was headed as a country, it definitely wasn't, you know, going to be good for, the American people. So, I'm gonna have to wrap this up because it's like 30 minutes already. And I said 10
Yeah,
minutes.
and if I get into my response for that, it's gonna be
Oh,
it might
yeah, I
be
mean,
another
you could get
it
ahead
might
because
be
I'm going to try to edit some things to try to make it, but I'm going to leave most of it, definitely, because I think it's
it
very,
might be another 30 minutes.
hmm
But thank you for your service. You know, that's definitely appreciated. Um, but one thing I definitely believe in is the freedom of speech. And like I said this earlier, now how that's kind of like a two-edged sword is that I believe you have a freedom of speech, but then again, you are subject to the repercussions of that. And
yeah,
so if you don't want to support somebody because you don't agree with their freedom of speech, you have every absolute right to do that. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, just like it's okay for Alex Jones to get on there and say what he wants to say, I feel the same way for NFL players. I feel the same way.
hmm yeah, definitely. Well, let me go ahead and wrap this up because it's been a lot longer than I expected, and my phone is about to die on me. But I really do appreciate you reaching out. Agreeing to come on. I'll explain later why I call this the third eye philosophy. You know, I'll explain later. I'm working on a video right now. I'm putting the script together, so I'm gonna, because me, I have a speech impediment. So, but I digress. But I do appreciate you all the way from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Welcome to reality. Welcome to the world of free thinkers. Where now you're gonna have a responsibility to speak your mind as a free thinker.
Yeah. And this is
Question,
going to be really interesting.
question things, that's pretty much all we got to do. Question things. You don't got to just accept things because you hear it, because your favorite celebrity said it, or whatever the case may be. That's how you stay a free thinker, but also look at their side too, and then look at the facts. See how it
Right.
happens, and then make your
Absolutely.
decision. And that's what you did, and that's how you show you're a very bright woman. You know, But thank you
Thank
for coming on, and thank everybody for watching. If y'all have any questions or any comments, leave your comment down below. And before we go, send me a link to your YouTube so I can put it down there too. So therefore people could go there and they could subscribe to your videos and they'll be able to see your progress and what you're doing and how you're learning. And if they feel like you don't know something, they can help you. Because trust me, conservative fan base, followers, subscribers, these guys are loyal and they will help you. They will give you information. They'll give you links. Trust me, I've been reading and all this stuff for a long time. Like
As
these
long
people
as
be
they don't
serious.
come over there trying to beat me up about this NFL comment. But I have to be true. I have to be truthful about how